Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. Microsoft just released the new specs for Flight Simulator 2020 and yikes, let's get started. So Flight Simulator 2020 is not going to be easy to run on your computer. Microsoft just released the specs today after quite a while of waiting. So they had a bit of a teaser, saved the date for 4/21, and here are the system specs. So looking at these minimum specs, in order to run this game in potato mode, they look pretty par for the course. If you compare this game with Doom Eternal, for example, the minimum specs should be pretty similar. It'll be a tomato-tomato kind of situation. The big kicker here is the hard drive space. 150 gigs you will need. That's a lot of space. Now, I know I will have to clean off some space on my hard drive in order to fit this game. It is quite a bit, although it's not as much as something like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which needs, I think, 180, 175-ish gigs in order to even install it. That's not even including the patches and all this other stuff. So you need at least 175 in that one, I think. So this is less than that, and this will also be a massive open world. So don't forget, this game should have most of the major airports on the entire Earth. This game is going to be huge. There's also a bandwidth minimum, if you see that, because this game will also be online multiplayer. So it's really going to be hopefully pretty immersive. Looking at these specs, something else that surprised me, and the minimum standpoint here, the i5-4460 came out in 2014. That's already 6 years ago. Where did the time go? That's crazy to me. But anyways, moving on from here, let's look at the recommended specs. And they are on the far right of the screen. If you take a look way over that way, we're looking at the Ryzen 7 Pro 2700X or the i7 9800X with at least an RTX 2080. So that's going to be pretty huge. I'm going to assume that this game is going to be gorgeous when rendered in full settings, probably 4K settings. It'll be gorgeous. Again, for RAM here, looking at this is quite a bit. This is 32 gigs of RAM. The same 150 gigabyte hard drive, although they're recommending an SSD, and 50 megabits a second for bandwidth. Now, looking at all of these specs, I can say that this game has the potential to look incredible. I mean, I can't even max out this game. My graphics card is an RTX 2060 Super. This is calling for an RTX 2080, so I won't even be able to max out these graphics. This game is going to be incredibly demanding. If you don't meet the minimum potato settings, don't worry. I couldn't tell you how many times over the years where my computer did not meet the minimum specs of a game, and I still tried to run it. I've been there more times than you know. Don't be disheartened if your computer does not meet all of these minimum specs. Sometimes I've had a computer where the CPU was fine, but the GPU was woefully underpowered. Sometimes, especially for a game like this, I think your chances are far greater where community support is very, very good. And sometimes they come out with little tips and tricks in order to squeeze some more FPS out of the game. Maybe remove some texture loading, maybe remove some texture overall in order to help to get the game running. So don't worry too much. Don't be disheartened too much. There may be hope in the future. But anyways, that's all I've got for today. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Flight Simulator. What do you think about these specifications? Can you run the game at minimum specs? Can you run it at maximum specs? I know I can't even run it at max specs, but maybe you can. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Thank you everyone, take care.